Hey, hey guys. Hey, it's Mr. Anderson here. Uh, I was just thinking this is take one. I'm hoping that we'll be able to finish this picture up. Right now, if I'm looking at this, it doesn't look too totally focused. Let's click a button here. See what happens. Hey, there we go. That's focused. Okay. Hey, look at that. I found a pencil sharpener today. I didn't have to sharpen with my utility knife. Um, Hey, let me hide this. I don't know if you guys see that on the screen. There we go. First off, before we get started drawing, I do want to remind everybody to take attendance from, Mrs. Guston's email. You need to still do that. Um, and today, I want to work on this picture a little bit and then talk about how we're going to turn this in. Okay? And we'll get to that near the end. Remember, if you have a piece of paper, you should have already started this picture on Tuesday. Okay, this is a continuation, part two of that same picture from Tuesday. Today is Friday, right? Okay. Um, Now, I do have my straight edge. Remember, anything you can find that has a straight edge, if it ends up being a magazine, a piece of paper folded up, anything can work as a straight edge. Um, I think last remote learning I was using a level that I had, out of my toolbox, a small little torpedo level, so it wasn't too long. This one's a little bit long. Sometimes it bumps into my computer here, so sometimes a little bit shorter ruler can help. A couple things I was thinking about on this. There's small little details you could think about. Remember how I was doing this trim board on the door? Technically, this would kind of come up and over the floor. You see that? I just kind of did a little curve here to kind of have it come out over the floor. Same with this piece here. I don't see the other side of this, but I'm going to kind of put that little trim piece, just little details you could think about as you're doing it. Um, there's all kinds of things you can think about with this. Again, I mentioned, you could always draw something that's outside here. Okay. You could always put a window on this wall. You can put a door on this wall. Anything you want. Okay. Somebody emailed me earlier and asked what, I assume that they watched the video. This was on Tuesday. They had asked, well, what are we drawing? Well, this is a draw along, like you draw it along with me so that you learn linear perspective. If things are different, okay, think about, if your door ends up looking different, you're trying to draw a different kind of door. Last year, seventh graders, I had some seventh grade students last year did the door with panels, kind of like a door in a typical house would have, interior door, that is. Okay, this is more of an exterior door. So some people made it more personalized, how maybe their room would look or something like that. So you're welcome to veer away from that, but I'm still looking for you to be drawing in linear perspective. Okay. Now, real quick, I was thinking about this wall here. What if I wanted to end this wall? Wanted What if I didn't want this wall to continue here? It opens up to another room. I was thinking about that with my tile here. Right here, if I wanted to open this up a little bit, I could extend. Let's just try it. I'm going to extend this like a hallway going out here, okay? Now, right here at this corner, I'm going to need a line going up for like the corner where you turn the corner of the house. Again, this needs to be perfectly vertical. Okay, so I'm looking at my ruler, I'm lining it up. Does this look the same size as up here? It looks like it's leaning a little bit, so I'm going to adjust. Okay, I'm kind of always looking at spaces like in here. Do they look parallel? Spaces over here, do they look parallel? Okay, that's the kind of things I'm looking at without measuring. I could always measure and be real precise. Okay, so I'll draw a line right here. Okay, now you might be able to kind of feel like, oh, this is going to go out here. Maybe this tile, I need to continue the tile out this way, which I might do. But first, the ceiling. There's going to be also be a line that's going to be perfectly horizontal up here for the ceiling. So again, kind of lining up, looking here at my distance here at the top over on the one side, look at the top over here. If they look pretty parallel, I could draw a line. Okay, now this line here, if this ceiling is, perfectly white, you might not see this line. Okay, so now, all right, picture now, I just opened up my room. Okay, now when you walk in this front door, there's, a hallway, maybe going out this way, maybe to the kitchen. I'm not sure. Remember, we're still going to put something over here, probably something to sit on. But real quick, just thinking about my tile, my floor, the whole pattern here, let's continue that. That's pretty easy if I just kind of continue this line over this way. Let's continue this line here. Now, if you remember, I would need to, if you remember, I was measuring. I used my piece of paper. Remember that? I used the lines on my piece of paper to measure the distance on these. Let's do that. I just need to get one piece of paper rather than 10. Let me just get my top piece of paper here. If I just use my ruler, it'd be real easy, right? You could do that. If you got a ruler, use it. If you don't, you just need something that's equidistant, like these lines. They're all the same. Okay? And because I used them before, I'm going to use it again. Okay? I believe all my marks, remember those marks on the back wall were all pretty close to that, right? To the line up with the lines. Hey, let's extend that. Let's just extend these lines. I'm going to keep it on the same plane, the same parallel here. And I'm going to make a mark like here. And remember, I'm going to erase these marks. So I'm just extending it out so I can continue my pattern. I'm not sure how far I need that to go. But remember, I need some lines that intersect with each of these that come down here. So I'm trying to make these lines continue here. Okay, so probably just a few. I'm going to line up my straight edge this time with my vanishing point. See my little marks? Here's one. Here's one here. Here's one here. Let's see what that gets us. I think that first mark I made is actually the corner of the room before I put the shelf in. Right there, look at that. Now, let's line it up, make sure that one end of our straight edge is on the vanishing point, the other one is at our mark. I don't need to draw all the way through the whole house. I can just come down here to the floor. I want to draw that line. See that? Look, see that line? I lined all that up just for this line way out here, okay? Now, let's do that again. That was with that mark. Let's go to this mark. Line up our vanishing point. This mark here is right on the shelf. I got it lined up here. I've got it lined up here. And, whoa, you can't barely see that, can you? All right, and here's where I'm making the line. So all these lines go to my vanishing point. I don't think I'll be able to fit another one in here, but just in case, let's see what this mark does. Oh, there is a little corner. Check it out, right here. I lined up with my mark here and the vanishing point, and there's a little line there. So I hope you understand that these marks that I made were actually a continuation of the original back wall. I just needed to extend it to continue my pattern on the floor. Okay? You see that? Let's look at it. So now my pattern on the floor is the same. All right. And I could go in here and erase my little guide marks. I don't need those anymore. Okay. Done with those. And you'll typically on a linear perspective picture have a lot of erasing. If you have a nice eraser, or you can see I'm wearing down this pencil's eraser. If you don't, well, you'll have kind of a mess on here, right? Oh, you can see I forgot to erase these lines. I don't need those anymore. That was for the TV, way back when we drew the TV. Now, not everything is all perfectly. Let's get rid of some of that mess. Not everything in the world is perfectly square, and some things are rounded. Some things. Let's think about this side. If I were to draw something in here, like let's say a chair, it doesn't have to be so square, okay? But I still want it to be in perspective. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to box in an area. Okay, I'm going to make it real boxy. And then within the box, within the cube, and this is going to be like an L-shaped prism, kind of like a couch or a chair. Within that box, I'm going to draw something, okay? So let's just use a corner here that's good. Like, let's imagine that wherever our couch is starts around this tile and ends right here, okay? You guys see it? That's the space I want this. Maybe it's a love seat, okay? I'm going to have it kind of extend out. So the distance here, if I made this, oh, that's a little bit long. Let's go about halfway here. If I made this about 2.5 squares wide, I can go back here and go 2.5 squares wide, and it should be in perspective. Of course, if I measured from here, this line is longer than this line, but it's supposed to, froze up. We froze up, you guys. So let's see what there we go. All right, I might have been drawn too fast for this. Anyway, this line, we want it to appear longer than this line, okay? Same thing, let's think about the height of this. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to try and make it parallel to my wall here, okay? Remember, I'm looking at the distance here, looking at the distance up here. Do they look the same? I'm going to go about halfway up the wall with this, okay? About there. Now, the end of this needs to go to our vanishing point, just like every one of these. Now, hey, I'm not going to take it all the way vanishing point, though, this time. It's going to be heading that direction, but I'm going to stop, like right in there. You guys see that? That is heading to the vanishing point. There's an arrow for you. But remember, I only needed it to kind of hook right there. Let's make this nice and straight. Let me get a nice parallel line here. Again, lining up my ruler right there with the edge of the corner of the house. Whoa, got a little bit off. Okay, now let's do a little erasing. I want to erase a little bit of this tile because our love seat here is going to actually be covering this, all right? Now it's very flat right now, okay? So now I need to give it some dimension. Let's do that. Let me go ahead and I'm going to draw a line. Remember, I'm boxing this in at first, okay? So I'm going to draw a line up here. Let's go about that height, okay? Basically, I'm going to make an L right now. Let's see. Again, always looking at my ruler, making sure I got things lined up. I'm thinking about the thickness of this. Somewhere in there. All right, you guys see right here, I kind of an L. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I've already got this corner heading to the vanishing point. I want to get this corner heading to the vanishing point, this corner going there, and this corner going there. Okay, let's do that real quick so you can see this. All right, that line's going that direction. This line's going that direction. You see that? They're going to intersect at the vanishing point if I line my ruler up right. And this line's going there. Okay? So now, what do I got up here? Let me erase a little bit of this mess. I'm going to have some more here to erase. Let's get rid of a little bit of this tile. We're not going to see any of this tile back behind this. So let's get rid of that so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to draw a line vertical here. I'm going to use my ruler again though, because you can see when I don't use my ruler, things tend to lean. Okay? I've had a lot of students turn in things that are leaning. That, I don't think that's leaning too bad. Here we go. Oh, now that looks all right. Okay. Let's go here. Again, trying to make this perfectly horizontal where it connects right here. Let's get rid of all this back here. Let's get rid of some of this. Let's get rid of this. I put that line in just to show the back of it, but look where we're at. Okay, let me put a vertical line right here. Right there. Okay, now let's erase a little bit of the corner of the house from we drew that at the very beginning, didn't we? You guys see what I have here? I really have boxed in an area where I could put kind of a seat, all right? Now, it doesn't have to look all boxy like this. I could change that, okay? Now that I have this boxed in, let's say I wanted to curve it. I kind of want to match my curves here. Okay. We'll make it all kind of a, let's put kind of, make it look like there's a cushion in here. All right. Kind of look like that. I'll get rid of the hard corners, get rid of the extra lines. We don't need those. So you can kind of see how I'm getting this all angled in here. Okay, now I could totally change the way this chair looks if you wanted. If you wanted to put, you know, higher armrests up here, you could do that. Again, you just kind of want to keep in mind you're keeping it in perspective, okay? Whoops, let's get rid of that armrest is there. You're not going to see through it. You could see that on the outside. Okay, so you could add to that, fix that up any way you want. Make it look like an easy chair, okay? Now, what point are we at? Okay, I want to talk about something else. If you want to add anything else to this, you've got a few minutes here. You could do that. Anything on this back wall, you know, if I was going to put a door, anything here, it doesn't necessarily go in perspective because it's on the flat back door. But everything on this wall is in perspective. Everything on this wall here is in perspective. But if it's straight, you know, flat right at you, you know, it would be a perfect rectangle or a perfect square. Let's make it a window real quick. Let's just imagine I'm going to go ahead and use my original X through. I very faintly can see the X here. Okay. Let's see if I can get everything nice and straight. Okay, so if I had some sort of giant painting or something back here, it will just be rectangular, okay? So that's kind of how that all works. Now, you guys, a major thing we need to talk about is how to turn this in, okay? You guys could kind of get your picture to somewhere around uh, this stage, and you would be good to turn this in as is, okay? But let's talk about that. Now, let me set this to the side. We had problems last year of people's Chromebooks, the camera wouldn't turn on, okay, when you clicked on the camera. So we found a way around that. What we did was we went to Google Docs. So let's see here if I can find Google Docs. Let's go right up here to apps. In yours, I think you'll find your Google Docs is a blue. Whoa, wrong. What apps? Here we go. It's like this. It's a blue rectangle with lines on it. You probably use it for your other classes. But if you go into Google Docs and you open a blank document, all right, oops, here we go, blank. And then go up to, oh, well, title it. First title it. Let's title this, here we go. So that it's easier to find later if you title it. You might name it art, perspective, drawing. You can name it whatever you want so that you can find it, right? Then if I go up to this, if you get on your Chromebook and you click on the camera and it takes a picture of it, you could hold it in front, take a picture, and submit that through Canvas, okay, on my submit button for today's assignment. But if you cannot do that, here's the workaround. You go into this Google Doc, you click Insert, click or go just hover over Image, and it'll drop up a pull down menu here, and then you click on Camera. For the 6th grade, it worked. We'd click on Camera, and all of a sudden it would pop up the camera. Right. Uh-oh, telephone. Just a second. There we go. Hey, all right, just say I'll get to the phone here in a minute. You pop up the camera, and I totally lost my train of thought on this. Here we go. Let's try it. I got 3 cameras running right now, so we'll see. Let's see if it lets us use the 3rd camera. Okay, no camera selected. You guys, it should pop up a camera. You could hold your picture right in front of the camera, take a picture, hit insert, okay, and it'll add it into your Google Doc. Then go into the Canvas assignment that I have where it says to upload or insert your work, your file upload. You click on, there'll actually be a little square of different files to load. If you click on the Google one, it'll be in there listed. And then you can load it in, all right, and turn it in today at the end. Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought because of that phone call. I feel like I have to redo this whole video. Do you think I should? I'm asking my editor and my director. He says it's probably all right. Okay. So yeah, it's a little, yeah, the telephone call right now. I feel like I need to get back on that. But the most important thing for me right now is that you guys know how to turn this thing in. Okay. So that's a workaround for the camera. If you have troubles, you can let me know. I'll review this again. Well, I will. Before you even see this video, you're going to hear me say this during our Google Meet on Thursday. Okay. So, you guys, good luck turning that in. If you have any troubles, just email it to me or email me. Let me know what the troubles are. Okay. All right. Uh, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you later. Oh, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that little bell. Ring a ding ding. I just learned that one the other day. All right. See you guys. See ya.